Hi everyone, I'm Bärbel from Bärbel Productions, and for all of you who don't know me, I'm a Swedish pattern designer and illustration artist. Today in this video I thought I'd share with you my home studio. And why am I doing that, you might think? Am I just showing off, or what is this about? Maybe a little bit. Mostly it's because we have this Facebook group for Swedish pattern designers, and one of the members there is moving to a house, and now she will have her own home studio. And she was asking if we had some tips or recommendations for what to think about when furnishing and equipping your home studio. And instead of just posting a written answer to that question, I thought I'd make a video out of it and share it with all of you. So this is the room where I reside, and it's a room in our house where we live just south of Stockholm, me and my family. And when I started Bärbel Productions, coming from an employment in a big corporate company, going to running my own business, running my own show, I wanted to make sure that this new venture of mine would feel like a real job. I had no experience in being a pattern designer or running my own business before. So that was quite an important thing for me, that it would feel like a real job and that it was a serious job. And one way to do that, I thought, was to have a dedicated workspace, an office where I could keep all my stuff, and this is where I went. I could close the door and then I was at work and not at home, really. What I did is that I just seized the spare room of our house, which was a multi-purpose room. It was the guest room, it was our home office, and the children's playroom. Sorry, kids. And for the first 2 years, I think, I just used whatever I had. I couldn't, afford to spend money on getting all kinds of new furniture and equipment, so I just had to use what was at hand. But then, after a couple of years, I felt that now it was time to step it up a few steps, so I budgeted a little bit for refurnishing and redecorating. And so I did that about a year ago, and now I'm gonna show you all the things that I did and my favorite tools and equipment and some tips for a design studio. One of the first things that I did was to paint the walls completely white, because light is the key to everything when it comes to me staying happy and inspired and creative and motivated. I have 2 windows in here, so there is a lot of natural daylight, which is really good. And before I have repainted, I had sort of this light green color. It felt like some kind of hospital almost. So I painted it white and it turned out beautifully. And another purpose for that one was that a white background is really great to have when you are shooting your own photos and videos, and if I'm, need some photographs of some art prints or something, I just hang that on the wall, and I have an all set backdrop that is easy to edit in Photoshop and everything. Another thing that I did was to plan ahead quite thoroughly, both because I needed to be careful with my money. I didn't have a huge budget, so I needed to really optimize everything. I really wanted to have sort of a red thread and a theme for my studio, for things to, just have the right look and feel. So I did a mood board where I just put down all the things that I wanted, some ideas for what I needed. And then I also made a list of all the things that I did and all the equipment that I had and needed, and to make sure that I would have storage and a place to put everything. And for that I decided to have quite a lot of open shelves to fit everything. I didn't want things to lay around and look, messy, and so to have my mind clear, I need to have a clear working space. So this is one of the walls, and I have 2 shelves like this, and I just went to a hardware store and bought some plain shelves, and some consoles that I just painted in one of the colors that I had decided on. Books, some baskets and boxes where I could just stuff things in, and easy to find things. So this shelf is more of an equipment and resource storage library. The other shelf has another purpose. It's the same shelves and consoles, but here I store my stock of pillowcases and fabric, also my sewing kits, and up there on the top shelf is my clog boxes. I have clog boxes, and those are some try them on clog boxes, because if I attend design markets or pop-up stores or fairs, I can just bring those boxes with me and people can try on clogs with my patterns on and order. So I have clogs in all sizes and shapes in these boxes. And then I have some other stuff that I have made myself, or things that I sell in my web shops. Here's a little close-up. I have these plastic boxes where I keep things. There's a box full of zippers and some tools that I need. My own fabrics mixed with some bought fabrics. And this is my packaging envelopes and wrapping paper. Here is a box of my toiletry bags or makeup bags that I sell in my shops. These are some demo pillows that I bring to markets. These are my remaining stock of the trays that I have. I have 2 different ones. And some art prints and some fabric by the yard that you can also buy in my web shop. Yep, that's one end of the studio. Another favorite of mine is this shelf that I have on this wall. And this one my husband, Johan, made for me. And this helps me really find my markers and my fine liners and pens and pencils so much easier. And it really feeds my organizing nerd. This is heaven for me. This is the most important part of my studio. So I have my desk is from IKEA, and this desk we had from the beginning. So I didn't get this one for my renovation, but it was suiting my needs just fine. And also the chair is from IKEA. So I gave IKEA a good portion of my budget for this studio. But the upside with IKEA is that they have sort of okay and clean and modern designs. It's a bit impersonal, I think, but you get a lot for your money, especially if you have a limited budget to do a lot of things with. And then you just have to personalize your studio or your project in the ways that you can. So adding things like my pinboard and that I had custom made from Made by Martha, and you can find her on Instagram too at Made by Martha. I got some fabric from Spoonflower with my design on, and she made it into this beautiful pinboard where I just stuff things that I need to have close at hand. This is coffee table, little side table that my grandpa made. He was a boat builder. He started this sailboat building company, and one day he fell off one of the builds and he got some brain damage and couldn't keep the company, so he sold it, and then he had his basement made into a workshop where he made all these kind of woodcraft things. So I like doing these life hacks, maybe you should call it that. And just take sort of boring, ordinary things and pimp them up a little bit. So here's another example of that. This is also IKEA, like this archive bureau, which came with a completely white front. But this is really, really practical. And I can have drawers for all kinds of things. To be honest, they are really not that organized and sorted. I should get going with that. So here are some original drawings. And then I have printing paper and some art paper. And for this I ordered wallpaper from Spoonflower with a sticky backside, so these ones, they peel off pretty easy, and I could order some new when I get tired of this and just peel it off and exchange it into the new design. This is the first printer I bought, and I always keep these kitchen towels on top of them so that they won't get dusty, because dusting is not a fun task and it's really difficult to get all the dust off of these beasts. They have so many nooks and crannies that are hard to clean. So this is a Brother with an A3 scanner. So I kept this printer because of the scanner. It's a really good scanner, but the printer is just quite ordinary. It will print photo prints as well. It's okay, but to produce my own art prints, I needed something a bit more sophisticated. So last year I got this Epson, also an A3 printer, which works like a charm and produces really good quality printouts. So I've used this one for my portfolio and for art prints and all kinds of things. Another IKEA feature here in my studio is the carpet that I have on the floor. It's a really big one. I think it's like 2 by 3 meters and covers almost the whole floor. But it's really good because it softens the audio in here. It doesn't make it echo as much because I don't have that much textiles yet in here. Last but definitely not least, well, perhaps the smallest, is my little colleague or mascot who keeps me company every day. All he does is sleep all day, but he is really, really nice to have around. And I'm talking about Kalle, the bunny. Hey, little guy. Are you my little buddy? Okay, so I think that's it. I think that's all I had planned to share. Maybe I forgot some things, I don't know. Anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know. Give me an email or post something through Instagram. I would be delighted to answer any questions. So until next time, bye!